Hello again everyone. Today we're going to be talking about what is, in my opinion, the first major update of 2024, the Dragon Rush update. It is currently on alpha, and it actually includes a bunch of new content. My name's Derailious, welcome back to Skyblock News, and let's launch right into it. Starting off, there's no better place to begin than the forum post talking about the update, and I'm not going to go over everything here because I do want to get in-game and show you everything, but the general points are, there's a new Dragon Rush mode, the new Primal Dragon, the new Tablist widget system, the General's Medallion accessory, and a ton of pet buffs and reworks, and there is a lot of reworks here, as you can see by me scrolling through here. I'm pretty happy with a lot of these changes. If you want to go down to the forum post, it will be linked below, but let's hop in game and I can show you everything they talked about. Heading to everyone's favorite thing to complain about on the forum, Centauri, he has a few new items for us. Notably, a full set of Primal Dragon armor, as well as an awakened Summoning Eye. This Summoning Eye is crafted using 8 regular Summoning Eyes and 2 Null Ovoids, which is pretty cool. On top of that, there's the Blade of Dragonfire, which has the ability Ultimate Dragon Rage. All monsters in front of you take X amount of damage, and those monsters take large knockback. This is kind of like the aspect of the Draconic, which was supposed to be the upgraded aspect of the dragons, but now we're getting it in this form, which is pretty cool. There's also the General's Medallion. It increases the base stats of your dungeon items by a percentage while in the catacombs for each digit on your secret count. I don't have any secrets apparently on alpha. I think they messed something up, or maybe it's because it's not in my inventory. But if you have, let's just say, I don't know, 100,000 secrets, you're going to be getting 6 extra percentage points in terms of your gear, which is pretty cool. It does seem to max out at 7%, which makes sense. Obviously, there has to be a limit somewhere, and I think it's going to be a pretty useful item. There's also the Architect's First Draft. It can be used to reset a puzzle room when in dungeons. A reset button seems to have been hidden somewhere on the floor, just in case something goes wrong. I think this is going to be pretty cool for people who fail puzzles. It's going to be a good thing to carry around. I do wonder how much it will cost for the average player, though. I think the armor for this update is pretty interesting as well. The Primal Dragon armor has a full set bonus which increases the armor stats by 20% for each digit of your dragon kills. So right now I have 60% because I've killed 126 dragons, which isn't a lot. But if you're someone who does a lot of dragons, this is definitely going to be something you're going to want to get your hands on. And this armor has Magic Find, which is going to make it useful for a lot of different content. Last on the list, we have the Primal Dragon Egg. Use that cat to upgrade an Ender Dragon pet to Mythic Rarity. This is pretty interesting, and I'm very excited to see what it does to the Ender Dragon pet. The upgrade for the Ender Dragon pet seems really solid, giving you 2 strength for each unique pet that you own. This is pretty interesting, especially considering that there's about 60 pets in Skyblock currently, and there's going to be more added over time. This is one of those perks that seems like it's going to keep getting stronger as the game continues, and I think it really brings this pet in line with something like the Golden Dragon. The Dragon Rush mode seems pretty chaotic. Immediately upon joining, I found like 2 dragons being killed at the same time. It just seems like a more fun version of the original dragon fighting game mode that we had here, and I'm pretty impressed with it, honestly. I think things are going to be pretty chaotic in terms of the dragon fights in general, and I'm very excited to see where this leads Skyblock as a whole. I think this is very nostalgic in terms of an update. Just seeing this chaos happen on my screen is just, I don't know, I'm having a good time. And I feel like a lot of other players are going to come back to the game, especially those who haven't played in many years, and participate and have a good time. And I think that's what this update is really all about. Heading over to the forum post, once again, there's a lot of extra information to go over. In terms of getting the General's Medallion, you have to speak to Zod, who is a new NPC in a new dungeon room. This seems like one of these store dungeon rooms where you can get like some minor trinkets normally, but this is a new thing here, which is pretty cool. They've also done some special stuff to split your secret count among all eligible profiles, which is going to be really nice for this item in specific. In terms of tab list widgets, they are on the alpha network, they've been improved, and frankly, I don't care about them that much. They're not really a me type of thing, but I've gone over them in a full video before. I'm not going to go over them again because they might get changed further until release, so when this eventually does release on the main server, I'll be talking about tab list widgets some more. Something else they mentioned is a lot, and I mean a lot, of pet buffs and reworks, so I'm going to go over those right about now. Pets got a lot of changes in this update. The Ghoul pet was the first one, the Vitality from Amplified Healing became a pet stat instead, and also there's a new Undead Slayer perk which replaces the original Amplified Healing. Also, Mending has been added to the pet's base stats equal to the amount of Vitality it has. It grants 1.5x combat XP against zombies. The Reaper Soul perk got reworked. It now reduces the summoning cost of mobs by 0.3 to 30% and increases their damage output by 0.2 to 20%. They also reworded the part about health of summoned mobs to increases the health of all summoned mobs by 1 to 100%. Army of the Dead is the perk replacing Zombie Arm. It increases the amount of souls you can store and summon by 2. It also increases the chance of getting a mob soul by 20%, or from 0 to 20%. The Giraffe pet got a bonus swing range in terms of its base stats, and the Good Heart perk got reworked. It's pretty interesting now. It gives you bonus health regen. The percentages seem kind of weird, like uncommon and rare goes from 0.00 or 0.02 to 2%, and epic and legendary supposedly goes from 2 to 200, which seems completely ridiculous. That might be bugged out, and some of this stuff might get changed around some, a little bit more, so I'm not really gonna linger on that too long. Long Neck got reworked. It now increases your melee damage by 50 to 100% if you are more than 3 blocks away from the target. This goes in line with the swing range improvement. I can see this one getting some use. I think maybe people will start using this with Claymore. It could be a little niche build. Kind of interesting. I don't know how good it's going to be, but regardless, I'm pretty interested in it. Also increases your crit range and strength by 0.0015% to 0.15% for every 0.1 swing range over 3, capped at 6. This is pretty interesting. You can kind of use this as a very niche swing range pet. I don't know how good it's going to be, but I hope it is good. The Golem pet also got changed. It now gives swing range as well. The Last Stand perk got reworked. While at less than 20% HP, reduce incoming and outgoing damage by 20%. Also gain a temporary shield equal to 10% of the player's maximum health. Lasts 5 seconds, 60-second cooldown. Toss got reworked. It now deals 5 times damage per hit. Cooldown reduced to 5 seconds. The Hound pet also got bonus attack speed, which is pretty neat. Also, it gives you bonus damage against wolves, which is pretty cool. And Finder got reworked. It changes the scaling of the perk to 0.3% to 30% chance to increase find armor, which is pretty interesting. This is done as the current 10% is currently overshadowed by literally everything that gives magic find. Lamau, that is really funny. The Megalodon pet got some base stat buffs: ferocity, fishing speed, and sea creature chance. Blood Scent got a rework. It deals from up to 50% to 150% damage based on the enemy's missing health. Pretty neat. It also doubles the pet's base stats during the fishing festival. That one's going to be really cool. It also increases your chance to catch sharks during the fishing festival by 20%. Pretty solid upgrade there. The Pigman pet has the Giant Slayer rework perk. It now deals 50% extra damage to monsters level 50 and up, so pretty much everything endgame. Deals 75% extra damage to monsters level 100 and up. This used to be a 25% additive modifier that is very bad compared to every other pet that procced almost never. The Skeleton pet got some reworks here. I know some people might be upset about this. Increased arrow damage by 0 to 75% at Legendary. This effect is doubled while in dungeons. This is an additive modifier, and it is reworked for other rarities because they give less arrow damage. Also, Skeletal Defense got bug fixed. The arrow your skeleton shoots will no longer bounce. In terms of the latter half of everything going on here, we have the Snowman pet, got some changes. Enemies within 8 to 16 blocks are slowed by 25% and deal 0.15% to 15% less damage. That is the Blizzard perk. Snow Cannon got reworked as well. Shoot a snowball towards an enemy when you attack. The Snowman does not attack by itself anymore, it only triggers when you do attack. This snowball damage is equal to 10 to 20% of the last melee damage hit you dealt, with a 1 second cooldown. The Spider Pet also got reworked, changes the strength stat from 50 or from 0 to 50. One with the spider got reworked. Add X strength to every piece of arachnid weapon, armor, and equipment that you have equipped, which is pretty interesting. It also is applied to those base stats. At Legendary, this gives you plus 5 to plus 15 strength per weapon, armor, and equipment that you have equipped. Holding an arachnid weapon counts as having it equipped, and spider-related items like tarantula armor, arachnid equipment have been assigned the arachnid tag for easier reference. Pretty cool. I think this is very niche, but it might get some use. The turtle pet also got some changes. Health stat got buffed from 50 to 75, defense got buffed from 100 to 150, and there's also true defense on this pet now, 15. Very cool. Turtle tactics got reworked, grants 3.27% to 30% defense. Standing still will grant another 10% defense. Pretty neat. The Genius perk got reworked as well, grants 1% to 2.5% defense for up to 4 players within 50 blocks of you. Does not stack with multiple turtle pets. Turtle Shell got reworked. When under 40% max HP, take 0.25 to 25% less damage, gain 10 to 20 vitality for 15 seconds after taking 10 hits. Hits are instances of damage. 10 instances of damage will grant you the Turtle Shell vitality bonus. If you already have the bonus, it will refresh the duration. Very cool. Great healing pet. Might actually be used now. Wither Skeleton got reworked as well in terms of Wither Blood. You deal 125% more damage to Wither mobs. Contrary to what it seems, the change from a 25% multiplicative to a 125% additive modifier is actually a lot stronger for most players. For players a lot further into progression where this change is a slight nerf, you have other pets at your disposal that deal more damage than Wither Skeleton in general anyway. That was a lot of dialogue to say, Lamau, if you are endgame, get nerfed. Zombie pet got some changes here. Bite Shield is a rework of Chomp, reduces damage taken from zombies by X% to Y%. And at Legendary, it's from 15% to 25%. Rotten Blade got reworked, 25% damage to zombies to deal 150% more damage to zombies. There's also bonus stats on Undead Armor, goes up to 25% now instead of 20%. And there's also a unlock requirement. The current way to unlock the zombie pet is the current way to unlock the zombie pet craft is Zombie Collection 9. Let's move it down to 6 and change the crafting recipe to 16 times 8 Enchanted Rotten Flesh. And this makes the pet more accessible to its new player audience. Very cool. I know that was an absolute yap session, but that was pretty much everything in this update. I'm genuinely really impressed with everything shown off here. A lot of the reworks make these pets super niche and super interesting. The changes to the end are going to make it a lot more fun for both new and endgame players, and I really like some of the new additions for dungeons specifically. The secret thing is really, really cool, and getting some buffs to your stats is going to be really nice for both endgame and, once again, mid-game players. Great update admins. I'm genuinely really impressed. Hopefully we get it pretty soon, and hopefully we get information about the foraging update a little sooner. At the end of the day though, my name is Derailious, thank you so much for watching this video till the end, and look to the future fellas, because I will see you then.